not be silent. We are your bad conscience.
Are we to be forever the nation which is hated and rejected by all mankind?
Cast off the cloak of indifference that you have wrapped around you.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of religion.
The protection of individual citizens from the arbitrary wills of criminal regimes of violence.
Somebody had to make a start. What we wrote and said is believed by many others.
They just don't dare to express themselves as we did. But they will. They will. You can't stop it.
Welcome to Signature Strong Live. I'm Eric Schaeffer, the Artistic Director, and tonight's show is really going to be special. When the pandemic hit in March, all the high schools closed and students finished their school years at home. So seniors had virtual graduations. You saw signs popping out throughout the neighborhoods in Arlington that read, "Congratulations," because it was home to a graduating senior. And so tonight we wanted to celebrate these special students and their work on our stage with the Signature in the Schools program. This program is actually one of my favorites. We've been doing the program for 25 years, and the late, great Marcia Gardner was our first education director, and she got everything going. And the first school that we actually partnered with was Wakefield High School, and with Judy Clevens, who was their drama teacher. Now, what I also love is that Judy Clevens to this day still comes and sees every Signature in the Schools production and also supports the program, which is so fantastic. And Marcia brought on David Zobel as the education intern. And when we lost Marcia to cancer, David took the program over. And so he had great, great training. There's no doubt about that. And in the following years, he really expanded the program to what it's become today, and it's really special. So tonight, I'm going to actually talk with David and also 4 students who have done the program, 2 recent graduates, and we're going to look at all the diverse stories that these amazing students have told on the Signature Schools program and in the world premiere plays that we have done that deal with current events in our world.
Signature in the Schools is an experience unlike any other.
It's the place where I discovered that young people can say things and that they can be heard.
You're not going to find the programs that you have at Signature anywhere else.
Signature in the Schools is a program for high school students where they get to work in Signature Theater and have all the resources with that. So being able to be in the rehearsal studios, getting to work with the directors, getting to meet all the staff members.
So you start with 3 weeks of boot camp, which is kind of an intensive training where you're learning about the subject material and you're learning about, depending on if you're an actor or you're tech, you're learning specifics for your roles that you're going to be doing.
And then you work for the next couple months with an amazing team of awesome people, and you put on something incredible. You put on a production, and everyone plays their part and everyone works together like a family, and you just have a lot of fun doing it.
Being able to do that and that feeling of confidence, when that clicked, that moment was magical.
And I felt so proud to be a part of a project that could use theater to educate and to inspire and tell a story that needs to be told.
We were always focusing on something that was going on in the world or something that had gone on.
The power that we hold as artists to change the world. And I think that was the first step and seed that was placed within me to understand that, it's bigger than me.
It is a program that will change your life.
I would encourage anyone, whether they think they want to act or that they want to be a technician, to come out and to audition or interview. It's unbelievably worth it.
So we're going to get started, and as every week, send in your questions for our guests, and we will ask them at the end of the program. And so to kick things off, I want to welcome David Zobel, our education director. Hey, David.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Excellent. So why don't you give us a quick overview of all the highlights of Signature in the schools? You have 30 seconds.
Okay, so every year an original play is written for a group of Arlington High School students. They perform in it as actors, and they do all of the technical work, and they stage manage it. Professional design team, professional playwright, one professional actor in it, and then between 1,500 to 2,000 kids are bussed in to see the show every year. All of those kids receive free workshops ahead of time, and there's free digital resources for teachers. The shows are always about some part of Arlington curriculum, either the English or the social studies curriculum, and program's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's the gist of it.
That's amazing. So how has it grown over the last 25 years?
Man, so I mean, when it started 25 years ago, it was just a Wakefield program, like you said, and it's become a program where students from any high school in Arlington can participate now. And the popularity of the program has really grown, both in numbers for people that apply for it and just trying to get a seat for it. The student matinees usually sell out within about 2 hours, and the size of the cast and the crew has all gotten bigger. We've expanded the educational side of it by introducing a program called Boot Camp, where they use theater to learn about the social issues of the show and to find their personal connections to it. So we've found a lot of ways to bring it into the century, creating all kinds of virtual programming for the teachers that bring their kids. Yeah, it's always growing and always evolving.
Well, and I also know, you and Matt Stroke, who's also in the education department, you guys go into the schools and work with the students before they actually even come and see the play.
Yeah, so every group, every class that comes to see a field trip performance gets a free in-class workshop. And it's gotten so big in the last couple of years that Matt and I can't do it ourselves anymore. So we have a team of 7 teachers, and they all have different specialties. We have teaching artists who are accustomed to working with English learning students, and teaching artists who are used to working with students with learning disabilities, and teachers who are used to a more traditional classroom. We've got a full round team so that we can make sure that every student has a positive experience with Signature Theater on this one.
Oh, that's great. And what's if you had to pick a favorite part of the program, do you have a favorite part?
Oh man, it's hard to say. I mean, the best part of it, right, is working with these amazing kids who are so inspiring and do such incredible work as actors, but are also just so passionate about the social cause behind this program, because every year it's about something important. This year was about getting out the vote. The year before that, it was First Amendment. We've done Black Lives Matter. The kids care about what we're talking about, and that's so inspiring to me. The other best part of it, I like working with Joe. We've done over 10 shows together now. We know how to work with each other really, really well. But it comes down to how inspiring I find these kids.
No, that's great. And I was going to say, what have you learned from working with the kids? Because it sounds like, you're supposed to be the teacher, but it almost sounds like roles get reversed.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that age doesn't really mean anything in terms of life experience or understanding of the world around you. These kids get things that I'm struggling to understand, and I'm twice their age. And their level of professionalism blows me away. They're on top of their game. They show up ready to work, and they take it so seriously. I've learned a lot about how to be a professional from them, and I've learned a lot about how to be an activist from them. They're heroes in that regard.
No, that's amazing. I mean, it's one of the questions I wrote down was do these young adults give you hope for the future in our country? And
totally, they do.
Yeah.
They are conquering the world from every angle. And whether or not they go into theater professionally, that's really not any of my business. That's their choice, right? But they all leave this with skills and passion set to change the world, and heroes. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great. Well, David, stick around because we want to bring you back at the end of the program because we want to get to talking to the kids, which we're going to do. So there's 4 students that we're going to bring on the program. And one of the great things about this program is that students do get to work with a professional DC actor each year. As David was saying, they share this experience with the student, and they actually become their mentors. And here's a perfect production, a perfect example, and it also was a perfect production, I would say, too, of our production of 12 Million Footsteps that dealt with the Syrian refugee crisis in 2017. And this features professional actor Mohammed Al-Rufai.
Jasmine. The smell of jasmine. It grows everywhere in Damascus. And the sound of fountains whenever you go, especially when you are entering the old city through Bab-Tuma. Knowing that you are walking some of the oldest pathways on earth, passing the ancient churches, going to Suq al-Hamidiyeh, our market covered above the whole way by steel arch. It's like you have entered some magical cave, full of treasure, so much of everything, food, clothes, people, and so many colors, all mixed together. It's like painting, but moving, breathing, and full of life. Then, when you finish the market, in the middle of the old city, Umayyad Mosque. Pigeons, 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 everywhere. And the courtyard? It's smooth, like glass. So, when the sun is setting, the reflection, wow, it's like you are walking on the surface of the sun. Then, when the night falls in the streets of the old city, the bars explode with the music, and there is laughter and dancing and living and singing. There is life. There is so much life.
So that just gives you a little taste of the program and what it's like. And so we're going to talk with 2 students now. And our first guests are Juan Cardenas Monroy and Charlotte Gimlin. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Eric.
How are y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, first we should say congratulations, Juan, because you just graduated high school.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So I'm going to throw the first question to Juan, and that is, you did this program for 4 years, and your siblings and your family have done it another 5 years before you, so that's 9 years. Signature in the Schools has been in your family.
Right.
What is it that your family loves about it?
I guess David, right? I'm kidding. I don't know. I remember being around maybe 10 or 11, like in 4th or 5th grade, coming to Signature Theater, my first ever like theater experience, and seeing like just like a bunch of high school professional show. And it was just so interesting and so like inspiring, especially because it's just activism. The plays are just full of activism, and it just drives you to want to do something. So I wanted to be able to be a part of that, and we all loved the family that became from it every time.
Oh, that's great. So Charlotte, you're in college right now, and you're studying history.
Yes.
And how did the program help you prepare for your college experience?
Oh, lots of ways. I mean, in like very obvious ways, in that I took a World War II history class, and our play was about World War II. So I was like, oh, I know this unit. But in other sort of more nuanced ways of it really teaches you how to communicate with people and how to discuss difficult issues in a way that's very forward and direct, yet also compassionate. And I think that like practicing how to talk to people and practicing how to be empathetic is really, really important when you're trying to be a student in general, but sort of a lifelong learner, as sort of cheesy as that sounds. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, I'm old and I'm still learning, you know. The great thing is, well, we don't ever want to stop learning. I think that's the most important thing, you know. None of us do. Well, here's a question for both of you. Do you have like a favorite memory from Signature in the Schools?
Wow. I need like 2 seconds to think about that.
Okay, 1, 2.
Oh man. Oh man.
Wait, I have one.
Okay.
I'm thinking time.
Charlotte, you go.
Okay, well, I have lots of them, but this is like the first one that comes to mind. It was my first year during the program, and it was during boot camp, and the theater was actually being renovated. So we were in the Arlington Arts building.
Yeah. On 4 Mile Run.
Yeah, and it was towards the end of boot camp, and we were starting to like really get to know each other, and that feeling of family was really starting to form. And we had a day where we were painting this big piece of paper, and we were painting like our fears and our joys and other things like that. And it devolved into people just like being covered in paint. And everyone like had it on their faces and on their hands and stuff. And it was just like, it was very silly. And it was cool to see something that went from like, oh, we're all really serious and we're all here to work and we all, you know, are taking this, we're treating this like professionals and we're trying to like learn and make really good art, into like, yeah, but we're also just really good friends and goofing around and having fun and like enjoying each other's company. And it's a really cool, microcosm of what Signature is it allows you to do both. So like make art that you're really proud of and work really hard, and also just like screw around with your friends and have fun and just enjoy the experience. So
yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, Juan, how about you?
Like Charlotte, there's just so many. Like while Charlotte was talking, I wasn't even listening, just trying to think of which one. But then I guess another thing that happened that year was when we had Mohammed Al-Rafai, and for one of our practices, I guess we just needed to like get like loosened up a little bit before getting back into it. So we just played music like in the back of each scene, and we would have to try to embody what that song was with that scene. And it was just so silly seeing like a professional actor just like dance around and be like, oh yes, this is what I'm doing. That was really fun. But there's so
in other words, we have to get David to do more dancing in these shows.
Dancing, yeah, more singing, more just make it musical.
Yeah.
Okay. Do that.
One step away.
No, that's great. Well, that's wonderful. So I want you two to stick around because we're going to bring you back for some special Signature in the Schools trivia, for sure. And each week we bring on a board member, or a donor, or an audience member as a special spotlight. And this week we want to welcome Debbie Schrager, who is a board member and also a longtime sponsor of the Signature in the Schools program.
Hi, I'm Debbie Schrager. I am a member of the board of Signature Theater and the director of the David S. Schrager Foundation. The Schrager Foundation has been a supporter of Signature in the Schools since 2002. So basically, I'm a Signature in the Schools superfan. There are so many reasons why I love this program. All the ways that students can be connected, on stage, off stage, in the audience, in the classroom. And I suppose it's especially meaningful to me that students have the opportunity to watch plays and connect with subject matter through art that is being communicated by their peers. I can't think of anything really more powerful than that. I hope that if you have the opportunity to attend one of the public performances of a Signature in the Schools production, that you will. I guarantee that it will be an extraordinary experience.
So thank you so much, Debbie, and we want to thank the David S. Schrager Foundation for being a longtime supporter of this unique program. And we want to thank all the supporters of Signature in the Schools, along with also our lead donors, Bonnie Feld and Dominion Energy. All of you are really making a big difference, and we are doing that together by supporting this program. And so we want to bring on two other students, and I want to welcome Avery Michael Johnson and Jillian Nuri. Thanks for joining us.
Hiya.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, doing good. So Avery, you did the spoken word with us, and now you're studying theater. So tell us a little about your Signature in the Schools experience.
Oh, it was great. It was the second show I'd done and like the first professional show I'd done. And it was really like, it was a really great way to learn a lot about like just everything on the production side, from like acting to just like seeing it all like come together and like work out. It was really good to like be a part of, and it was great to like have that experience.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, and Jillian, you did the program for 4 years.
Yes, I did.
With costumes, and then all the way up to stage management.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're actually studying stage management in college.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So how is it getting exposed to all those different aspects of Signature?
I thought it was really cool, and honestly, I think that helps me become like a better stage manager, just to kind of know what it's like being in other fields and working in other fields. I was honestly like really surprised going into stage management, because that's never really where I saw myself going into, but it's really, really fun, and I just enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. I think being in costumes first was interesting, because I got to see what it was like being backstage and working on something that wasn't stage management backstage, and then moving up to working stage management. Well, in high school, I was stage management, but backstage, and at Signature, I was stage management in the booth. So I kind of got to see all sides of it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's great. So I want to ask you the same thing I ask Juan and Charlotte. Do you guys have a favorite memory of Signature in the Schools?
Yeah.
There on the paint day, that it was Paint Everybody Day.
Yeah, I got paint in my mouth. I remember that vividly.
Yeah, I think my favorite memory was in doing like our boot camp for the show. We went to the museum, and that was like a really like cool experience to see like all the I had no idea like anything like that was about it. And then when we came back, we like got pizza and like we were hanging out, and then someone played like this really weird song, and like everyone started like dancing to it, and like we all started dancing to like this wild song, and that was a lot of fun. So I always think about that when I think about the program sometimes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. How about you, Jillian? A favorite?
For me, there was this moment, I think, around the end of working on the spoken word before we got into tech, where David, we had everyone in the room, and David was like, we are going to run through the show without saying any lines. And it was amazing to watch. I really loved it. I was just sitting there and watching as the actors, they started off just following their blocking, and then they hit a point where they were like, how do I convey the story without saying things? And then they decided to kind of do their own thing, and what came out of it was really cool. And I loved listening to them afterwards, because then they were saying like, oh, turning it into like a physical form made me understand how the situation worked, or how to like better like change that and like say those words and make it mean something else. And I just think it's really cool kind of watching the process develop.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So the other really cool thing about Signature in the Schools is you get to work on a world premiere play every year, which, you know, in high school, you don't do world premiere plays. You know, you don't have the playwright there. You're not getting new pages every day in rehearsal, or, half of a new script or, all of that you've all gone through. And can you talk a little bit about that? How is that a different challenge for you? Do you enjoy that? Or do you find it too much to handle?
I definitely enjoy it, especially being able to directly talk to the playwright, about things. I remember I asked the playwright Joe Colarco, why he chose the name for the character that I had, just because I was really interested in his thought process behind that, and it kind of allows you to get a further sense of who the playwright sees this character as, so that you can kind of bring their vision into it more along with yours. So that's something that I really enjoyed about being able to work on this world premiere production. So yeah.
No, that's great. And Jillian, for you as a stage manager, all these different changes coming, how's that?
I think it's really fun, just because on a simpler level, I just get to do more things, and I think doing things is fun. But I love watching the process happen. And when you buy a script that's already made, and you don't have contact with the playwright, you can't really you can still put on the show, but there's not as much freedom. There's not as much playing around. And watching the script change and having to send updates about, oh, we added new pages, oh, we cut out these new pages, and see how that influences the flow, the pacing, the actors. It's just really cool.
How did any of the students ever get upset because lines were cut or a monologue was cut, or they're there goes my part, any of that?
Probably. I mean,
but you guys are all professionals, so you're used to it. So you were great about it.
Yeah, I'd imagine even if they were upset, there's an environment for it. And when we come in the room, we're this is a professional environment. We're here to work, so that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, stick around because we're gonna have you guys play trivia with your cohorts, which will be fantastic. And so in 2015, we presented the play Veni Vidi Vici. And so tonight we've assembled a number of students from the program and put together this scene from the play. And it just gives you a special sneak peek of just how special the program is.
First, there was the earth.
Only the earth.
Just land and water and sky.
And there were no borders.
No man-made separation of mountain and fertile valley.
Of desert and windswept plain.
Beasts roamed.
Birds flew.
Fish swam free.
And then
came man.
So now I want to welcome back Juan, Charlotte, Avery, and Jillian. Okay, guys, are you ready to do a little signature in the schools trivia?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight's trivia is actually going to be presented by some of your fellow students from the program, and it deals with all past productions of Signature in the Schools. So once you have the answer, you raise your hand, and this week's winner is going to get a special prize, okay?
An unfair advantage.
The prize is a signature track jacket, so you can wear it at college. Okay.
Oh,
cool.
so it's for me.
Here we go. So here's question number 1.
Hi, my name is Mira. I was in the 2017 Signature in the Schools production of Smile Lines as an actor. How many schools brought field trip groups to see Unresigned, the 2020 Signature in the Schools production? A, 12, B, 8, or C, 4?
Okay, so who knows the answer? Let's go. Oh, okay. Let's hit it. Charlotte.
12.
No. So we have either B, 8, or C, 4? Yes. Here we go. Jillian.
8?
8 is right. Yes, we brought eight schools. They brought over 1,500 students to see Unresigned this past year. That's fantastic. Okay, here's question number 2.
Hi, my name is Clegg Armstrong, and this past fall I was in Signature in the School's production of Unresigned. My question is, how many plays has Joe Clarko written for Signature in the Schools? A, 10, B, 12, C, 15.
Okay, they're all like going like this, but Avery is ready. He's got the answer.
15?
You are right, Joe. World premiere play for Signature in the School. Well done. Okay, so this is the last question. Here we go.
3.
Number 3. Here it is.
Hello, my name is Mason Hemphill, and I was a part of Signature in the School's 2013 through 2016 productions of Revolution, Hero Worship, Veni Vidi Vici, and 295 North. During my time at Signature in the Schools, I worked as a backstage hand, as an assistant stage manager, and the stage manager for Veni Vidi Vici and 295 North, which were just amazing. Now, my question for you today is, the largest cast and crew in Signature in the School's history was for the 2019 production of The Spoken Word. How many students were in the cast and crew for this production? A, 24, B, 18, or C, 25 students?
Oh, I wish you could have seen this because they're all counting on their fingers like, how many? So I think Avery was first again.
24?
No, not 24. No. Okay. Jillian.
18 was the second highest, right?
Yeah.
Was it not 18?
No, it was 18.
Not 18, so no.
Cast and crew?
So Charlotte.
25.
25 is right.
Oh.
God, you got the answer. So smart.
I can name them.
Well, listen, I think all of you guys were fantastic. So I think you all win a track jacket. How's that?
Like
I think that's fair.
Okay, that's fair. So we're gonna make that happen for you all, which is great. So David's gonna join us back here, and I've got some questions from the audience. And the first one, we're gonna go to David here. This is from Carol Banks Russo. Have you started selecting topics for future shows?
We have. We start that discussion usually before the current show has closed. We take feedback from school teachers and from students as to what they think would be relevant in the curriculum. And I cannot say yet what we're thinking about for next year, but it's something exciting and relevant.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Well, we know it's going to be great, as it always is. So now here's a question for all the alumni. This is actually from Debbie Schrager. What kind of reactions do you get from friends who came to see you in a Signature in the Schools show?
Wow, like I didn't know you could act like that, or like you made me cry, or like I don't know, you made me really sad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, things like that.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of oh my gosh, like that was all students that like put that together.
Oh yeah.
Very surprised.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
People are really impressed by the tech.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, and then do you tell them like it's the students doing it? It's you know, I mean, they have mentors with them, but the students are running that, which is, I mean, I love when you go into the booth and the students are at the light board and the sound board and doing all that stuff. It's fantastic.
I'm always like, that was my brother.
Oh, that's great. And here's another question too for all of you. What was it like working with professional actors?
Oh, it's amazing. Like you learn so much, even just like working in a scene with someone who does it as their job. Like you pick up all their little mannerisms and how they interact with directors and how they approach like their script and their lines. It's really, really interesting to see someone who's so experienced and to be able to learn by doing with them. It's just like, it's amazing. And I had, you do one scene with Tracy and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, whoa, I'm exponentially better than I was. It's just so much fun.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's great. Well, I have to say, I mean, I know these actors and they all say the same thing about you guys. They're like, it's so great, the energy and the commitment that you all have for the program. And it makes, they're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm not prepared enough. I mean, it's interesting. You may think that they help you rise, but you help them rise as well, which is really fantastic, I have to say. It really is. David, here's another question for you is, what is the most challenging aspect of the Signature in the Schools program?
Finding the time to do it all. No. I mean, there's a couple unique challenges. Like, we perform on somebody else's set, which is always like hard. How do I make this show that's completely not for this? Joe tries to write for the set, but he can only do so much. That's always a challenge. There's always a moment, usually in the first or second week of rehearsals, where I think, man, this is the year where it's going to be a bust, where it's going to be just kind of a train wreck. And I guess the challenge is always to get past that point and to realize it always works out. These kids are incredible, and it just takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, you kids are amazing. I just want to thank you all for coming on and just like helping us celebrate Signature in the Schools, because it's a great program. It's something we're so proud of, and it's been great just talking to you all about it and having you here. So thank you so much for coming on. And we'll get you your track jackets, which will be great. So you can wear them proudly at your schools, okay? So
thank you.
Thank you.
It's really been a great night of conversation. And with these smart young people, I mean, it really gives you hope in our future. I also hope that you'll keep Signature strong. And the great news is right now, Michelle S. Lee of STG International is matching all donations until June 30th. So it's a great time to give, and join Michelle and help support Signature and our Signature in the Schools program and the whole community. And next week, we're going to be doing a special cabaret show with Jade Jones, Inez Nassara, and Katie Mariko Murray, hosted by Matt Gardner. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And so tonight we thought, to conclude, we want to do something special. We actually had 6 seniors in the program this year that are all graduating and have graduated from area schools. And so we wanted to give them a little special salute tonight. And thank you for joining us. We want to congratulate the class of 2020 and go change the world.
Hi, my name is Simon, and I was a part of this year's Signature in the Schools production, Unresigned. I'll be heading to Marymount University this fall, studying computer science with a minor in game design. I'm really, really excited to be graduating, and I love Signature in the Schools with my entire being. It taught me so much about community and acting and just how to build relationships with people while also, improving skills.
I did lighting for the Signature in the Schools show this past winter. Signature was important for me for a lot of reasons. It helped me figure out that I wanted to do something involving theater in college, and it also gave me a lot of really good friends, all of whom I'm still close to. I'll be going to Tulane University in the fall, where I'll be majoring in biology, but I plan to still work on a lot of performances and do what I love to do.